Tonight, a different campus, different names. But we've seen this before, the toxic mix of binge drinking and bad behavior. The central question facing one of America's most prestigious colleges, the young men accused and the young women involved. Was it rape? Prosecutors insist beyond a reasonable doubt.
Little did she know that day that had such great promise for her would turn into her worst nightmare.
The young woman, a neuroscience major at Vanderbilt, drunk and passed out.
She doesn't remember anything until the next morning.
Two of the accused have agreed to testify against the others, leaving Brandon Vandenberg and Corey Beatty on trial for sexual assault. Vandenberg was the alleged victim's boyfriend.
You will see video. They arrive. She's totally incapacitated.
Prosecutors claim surveillance video, only shown to the jurors in court today, shows the alleged victim being carried by Vandenberg to his dorm room that night, accompanied by Beatty and two others.
Vandenberg, it says, we're going to have.
According to prosecutors, the four players who've since been kicked off the team laughed at the victim before they allegedly assaulted her.
Vandenberg then gets condoms out and gives everyone a condom.
Vandenberg also allegedly recording the assault on his phone, and prosecutors claiming he sent pictures and video of the attack to his friends and searched online how to delete photos so the police can't find them. Later, prosecutors say the former players who are pleading not guilty texted each other about the alleged attack, trying to cover it up.
You'll see some text messages from Mr. Beatty where he's concerned about what the victim knows.
The defense will argue the young men are not guilty of rape, with Beatty's lawyer claiming it's the college culture that put his clients in this situation.
It was a culture that encouraged sexual promiscuity, but not just alone. There was also a culture of alcohol.
She drank quite a lot of alcohol, mixed drinks, shots. Reports she drank more than usual.
It came in the way of television, shows like Jersey Shore.
And it's that culture of sex and alcohol, the defense will argue, further instilled through reality shows like the Jersey Shore that glamorize and promote drinking and sex.
What do you make of the defense argument that this is part of the college culture?
When you use this college culture argument, you're making the concept of, well, these guys are drunk, they're out of control, but how did they get that way? It's from TV, it's from sex, and all these things came in to create what you're seeing there. They're not rapists, says the defense. They're people who are acting this way because of the culture around them.
Today in court, the defense started to poke holes at how police conducted their investigation, also raising questions about the DNA evidence.
And you only found one stain on a greenish-blue towel, correct?
As far as that fluoresced, that's correct.
The trial comes on the heels of a national debate about the prevalence of rapes on college campuses.
It makes me wonder if kids who are watching porn or seeing videos that are over-sexualized, that it's overstimulating to them, and it triggers their fantasy life, and in college when they're acting out and they don't have any barriers, somehow are more inclined to act out their own pornographic fantasies with women who are not okay with it.
Roughly 97,000 students are victims of alcohol-related sexual assault or date rape each year, and that's only the cases actually reported.
But what's frightening is girls who go into college may have an increased risk of getting raped than girls who don't. So that's stating that we have a problem in terms of how women are being experienced like objects that don't matter. It's almost like a caveman mentality view of women.
In this case, perhaps a sign universities are becoming increasingly proactive. It was authorities at Vanderbilt that sounded the alarm, landing four of their students accused.
There had been some vandalism at Vanderbilt that night, and some of the authorities at Vanderbilt were looking at the surveillance video of the dorms, and while they were reviewing that video, they saw it being dropped in the hall. They didn't know what else had happened, but they knew that that was concerning to them, so they called the police.
Legal analysts tell us this will not be a case of he says, she says, but what a phone camera may show.
In a case in which the alleged victim doesn't remember what happened, the accused say rape didn't occur, how vital is that surveillance tape?
The surveillance tape is critical because it tells the story of what happened leading up to the alleged assault. The critical thing, I think, are going to be these videotapes that Brandon Vandenberg, one of the defendants, allegedly took with his cell phone. Not only videos, but photos. If those depict the kids raping this young girl, that's it, game over.
Reporter Roxanne Jones has covered many rape cases.
What similarities do you see with the cases you've covered with this Vanderbilt case?
I think the cases are all similar, and the only thing that's changed with it really is technology. It's the technology that's now brought us almost in the room as these events happen.
She's also a mother with a son in college. She recently wrote a controversial op-ed about the advice she's given her son.
In fact, now an app has come out that you can do exactly this. It's not perfect, but get a text that says that shows what the mood was before you guys had sex. And everyone laughs at this. Everyone laughs at this, but use technology to describe or to at least get an acknowledgement that you're coming to the room to hook up and we're having sex. And text the next day and say, it was great, love to see you again, or I never want to see you again.
But in this world where no means no, right? And the woman could say no 10 minutes after the text, or she could say no just as they're about to do.
Right, that's why I said the next morning you have a confirmation.
However parents have the conversation, experts insist it must be had.
Find out what is the college you're considering doing about these kinds of incidents. What does the history of the college tell you about how they handle these crimes? And the other piece is have an open dialogue with your child. Let them know these kinds of things are happening and to take precautions that they need to take.
All it took was one night to stun a university and derail the lives of several students, all young, all gifted, and all allegedly drunk. For Nightline, I'm Byron Pitts in New York.